Everybody like my dope lid? Hello, is there anybody out there? Where's all the freaks? There's no more college football as far as I know. You got the Army-Navy game wrapping up. Barbecue sauce is the fast twitch muscle fiber freak of the evening. Who'll be breathing like that? Close second place. Got my dope lid, my Trey Hendrickson jersey on. Such a class act. He took a knee and prayed for Trevor Lawrence Monday when he thought he was seriously injured. What's up? If I knew what was up, I'd stay down, Cletus. What's up with you? Joey Burrow, former Buckeye, native of Athens, Ohio. Everybody having a good year, ready for Christmas, ready to celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You like my Hulk Hogan mustache? My handlebar Bull Harley from Over the Top? Hulk Hogan? My foot's itching. Does that mean money? It used to be the saying, if your palm itches, means you're going to inherit some money. Over the Top, yes. I've seen it many times. Any question is fair game, maniacs. Thoughts on Dale's recent contest photos? I haven't seen them. I looked after the show he supposedly did. I couldn't find any results. I couldn't find his name anywhere. So how did he do? Better than third? Genova, I don't know. I haven't seen or heard from Genova. He's been off the scene for a while. But Rob Zilla, as I said, I think I went live, done a video since he passed. So wasted talent. The kid had some talent, whether people want to admit it or not, but it's one of many former, even though I never met him in person, but a lot of friends and people I knew in Florida died young for whatever reason. And up north in New York, too. People younger than me passing away in their sleep. So it's signs of the times we're living in. Yeah, John Doe, they have. Browns have their number. But it's not over yet. Jake the Snake Browning looked good. Plenty of ball left. Bengals can still shock the world. I think they're going to get revenge on the Browns the last game of the year. For Christmas, not much. I'll have the day off. I'll go see my dad and my brother. My dad will probably cook some sort of prime rib or red meat. How much did the toilet buster weigh? I don't know. Lenny would know for sure. Probably over 400 pounds. You like the new look, Pietro? Thoughts on carnivore diet? I wouldn't do it personally. I know Jordan Peterson says it's helped him with, and maybe his daughter had an autoimmune disorder and, inflammation. But depends what you're doing. I mean, if you're weight training, I think you need some carbs. That wouldn't be sustainable for a long period of time doing a carnivore diet, but everything in balance, everything in moderation. Get your fruits, your veggies. I like me some home fried potatoes on leg day. I make in the air fryer. Pomegranate benefits, excellent. Great for the arteries. I can't take it because it metabolizes certain prescription drugs. So But I like the taste of it prior to being on like cholesterol and blood thinners. I'd recommend it for heart health because your arteries get stiff when you lift weights heavy, and it's supposed to keep them more pliable. It's like a nitric oxide booster too, I think. Well, that's what I mean, New Jersey misfits. Somebody like Jordan Peterson, who doesn't lift weights, yeah, it works for him. But I don't know. I believe in variety when it comes to diet. No, I never watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but on one of my last nights in Florida with Lenny, we both got G'd up out of our minds, and we were at the Brews Room in Delray Beach. It was the year the Patriots went undefeated in the regular season. They were playing the Giants, so everybody was fixated on that game. And they had like a small college bowl game, like Ball State versus Florida A&M on. And people are like, Lenny, look at it. The Patriots might lose, and there goes the undefeated season. So Lenny's like, what are you talking about? We got the bowl game. We got Ball State and Mount Union on. But there was a bartender I knew. He was wearing an Aqua Teen shirt. And he's like, bro, what's your name? I work with Andrew. And Lenny kept saying, Aqua Teen, Aqua Teen. And the kid's like, bro, your friend Lenny has a vernacular of a 4-year-old. Meow Man died of his death, unfortunately. This is an imposter, the newest member of the Village People with the handlebar mustache that they all like. I don't know. Lenny's hospital visits, I'm counting how many times he's been in and out. He's like a cat with 9 lives. What number hospital visit is he on? Yeah, too much sugar. Yeah, it just depends. It's never a good thing for anybody, thick cut Ohio. But I wouldn't say you have to cut out carbs and veggies completely. You could opt for fibrous, low glycemic options. Big man tried to kill. Does Brad have a mustache like this now? I don't know. Haven't seen Brad or spoken to him. I'd have to be a tattooed freak if I was going to be a Brad impersonator. Big Lenny's dad. I don't know. I never met him in person. I'm sure he's about 6'3", though. He's a former NFL draft pick. So my routine these days, I did Monday. Monday I didn't train. I did chest and tries Tuesday. Wednesday some cardio. Thursday legs. Friday shoulders and buys. Today cardio. Tomorrow I'm gonna hit back, traps, and neck. Yeah, I saw Lenny get angry, especially at Genova. Lenny was in pre-contest and he went nuts on Genova in the gym. What happened to Scott Steiner's chest? Good question. I don't know what you call that. Yeah, 1 bedroom only, my apartment. It's a spacious 1 bedroom compared to where I was at, though. What's the most calorie dense food you can eat that won't give you a heart attack or violent shits? You're doing competitive running? Well, how are you doing competitive running in bulking season? Oh, but it's called bulking season. Calorie dense foods. I don't know. Nuts, avocado, red meat. That might be sitting on your stomach pretty heavy, so I don't know. I'm sure you need plenty of carbs if you're doing running. So oatmeal. You could put some like nut butter in there or something. Whole eggs mixed with a bowl of grits with some cheese. No, I've everything's separated: kitchen, living room, and bedroom. Physique check later on in the video. How about that? Last time I rode on an airplane was coming back from the Vegas trip in 2018. No, I'm sorry. I went to the ex gal friend in DC in November of 2018. That was the last time I flew. Chuck Zito, never heard of her. Old man Chuck, maybe, yeah. New Jersey Misfits Aqua Teen takes place in New Jersey. No, I haven't talked to Jay Masters. Is he still on the scene? Nope, not wheeling any women lately. Last time I fornicated was right around this time last year. What got you into competitive running, New Jersey Misfits? Yeah, once you're in ketosis, you run off ketones. So a lot of people swear by doing that. I've met people, but I don't know. Like I said, depends on your goals, what you're looking to get out of it. Jay Masters is a member of the Michigan Aqua Queens. Secret sauce feels great on no carbs. What's the funniest thing I've seen Genova do in person? All the stuff he was saying before Lou's party in 2018, Memorial Day, before he fornicated with the porn star. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this look for a while. I got tired of the beard. Thoughts on Liver King, scam artist, liar. But hey, he made money if that was his goal. A lot of suckers out there, like P.T. Barnum said. So he made some money off them. But a lot of people like transparency. That's what like Lenny so much. He doesn't hide anything. And Sam Sulek seems like a nice down to earth character, so he's very popular. Some routine you got there, running at 4:30 a.m. and training with the weights at 7 p.m. Thoughts on body recomps? They're easier said than done. They only work seamlessly if you're getting on gear, if you had a long layoff but you were a prior lifter, or if you're a newbie into lifting and you fix your diet, then it's easier. But somebody like me to try to do that now naturally, to do a full recomp, it could be done, but it'd be a long, arduous process. Meow Man Stack, ashwagandha, CoQ10. What else? Some zinc, some magnesium, fish oil. I've never actually watched a Sam Sulek YouTube video, but my training partner that I sometimes train with, Stefan, likes him. Says he's down to earth. All the comments seem very positive. He's always going to have haters out there, and he's never competed. So look at the marketability he has. Very smart. He's doing very well so far. That's good. He's got a good physique. He'll do well when he competes, but just people like him. They resonate with him. I don't know, where is he? Is he from the Midwest? Seems like a nice kid. Bootsy check. They're asking for you. Say hello. Bootsy's the only female in my life. Columbus, Ohio. Good. Brad didn't do anything at Lou's party. I wonder if he regrets it. Lil Wayne. Who and what is that? Lee's favorite exercise. I have trouble feeling RDL, like stiff-legged deadlifts. Try to incorporate those the past couple weeks. Stiff-legged deadlifts and cable pull-throughs. I don't know. Not that it's overly strenuous, just getting a mind-muscle connection where I should be feeling it. Power cleans, which I haven't attempted in a long, long time. What do I think are the realistic chances of a Delray Misfits podcast or episode within the next year? There's a better chance of a snowstorm in South Florida tonight, put it that way. Poker Days. Hello, welcome. Where have I been? Just rotting away with my waiting for the Lord to come back or take me home, just going through the motions of life. That's where I've been. Rack pulls or deadlifts. Rack pulls or trap bar deadlifts is what I'll do. Yeah, good morning is another one. I'll usually do them as a warm-up. Mr. Almeida, good. How are you? Snowstorm under Brad's nose. Maybe. Would I describe myself as depressed? No. Perfectly content with where I am in life. Happiness is fleeting. But when you're content, like Paul said in the Bible, he had great blessings, and then he had very little, but he was always content. Deadlifts, lat pull downs, and chin ups enough for back day? No, I think you got to do some sort of row. Lately, I've been doing a T-bar row and then something more for lats, so like a hammer strength row or dumbbell row, barbell row. But definitely keep the deadlifts, the pull downs, and or chin ups in there. Reverse hypers, yeah. When I was going to Brits Brothers, I actually like the reverse hyper. GHR, yeah. Glute ham raise is another exercise I hate. I can't get it down pat. My lower back arches. Bootsy's good. I haven't heard from my neighbors or across the street. I assume the cats are doing good over there. Why don't I have a girl? Nah, just don't care to right now. The last one kind of fell into my lap, and then things disintegrated after 3 months. So I keep myself busy. It's there's not a void that a female can fill in my life. I don't think there ever will be. Yeah, I saw Lenny screaming that at the Olympia. I disagree that the King James Version is the only true Bible, Michael. In fact, I use the New American Standard Bible that's regarded as the most literal to the original languages, Greek and Hebrew. Sure, Lenny is welcome here if he ever heads up this way. What celebrity would you want to play? What Lenny, and which one would I want to play me? Lenny, I don't know. It'd be a tough one. I don't know who'd make a good Lenny. But when I was clean shaven after the show I did in 05, people thought I was Vin Diesel at the beach down there. So I'd say him. Get me in that ring now. Heaviest dumbbells I've curled in good form. I think Lenny and I did at the old World Gym back in the heyday, I did 80s or 100-pound hammer curls using some momentum, but they were fairly strict. We were able to, with reasonable form, curl 225 pounds on the straight bar. So do I think sometimes Lenny is all talk and things he talks about never come to fruition? Yeah, and I could say that about myself. I do that a lot too. Both of us, we're guilty of that for sure. But I don't know what specifics you're referring to for him these days. But yeah, it's almost like a mild bipolar. It happens to a lot of people like myself. Some days I feel like I want to do a lot of things, and then the next day I kind of come down to earth. Would I date a Mormon broad? Yeah, while I dated her, I would convert her to evangelical Protestant Christianity, a Protestant. I don't think Mormon is a true religion. They're very moral people. They do a lot of good things, but they're misled. I'm a born-again, non-denominational Christian. Who was the STR one in there? Snowstorm in Minnesota. Yeah, I couldn't deal with that. This is pushing the upper limits of cooler weather for me, Ray. That's real true winter up there. You guys are hardened by it. Exactly, road to 1,000 bench press. I get my walks in the park. I love nature more now than ever. Birds, squirrels, the chipmunks. My cat, I don't take her for granted. Good feel, good meal. Fellowship with the family, church members. Jason Blaha still makes videos. Yeah, he seems like a character. I don't know. Never met him in person. Supposedly he's one of the original YouTube fitness people, so you got to tip your hat for that. Strangest, scariest person I came across in the gym days. I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Lenny saw a guy at the Old World Gym. He was a big power lifter. He looked like Road Warrior Animal, and he was squatting a ton of weight. He had a hideous-looking girlfriend, too. I never saw him or met him, but Lenny knew who he was. He was from, like, the North Lauderdale area, but he seemed like an intense person, but I didn't meet him. I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. Protestantism. I'm usually better with pronunciation. I don't know. Do you think Dale voted for Biden? No, I think Dale was more of a Trump guy. Yeah, Nicolas Cage, all juiced up, could be a good Lenny. And is it okay to be a Catholic? Sure, it's okay if it's faith alone and Christ alone, not faith plus confessing to the priest or faith plus believing the Virgin Mary has some mystical powers. If you believe Christ died on the cross for you, for your sins, then that's it. Whether you prefer the Catholic Church and their teachings, just remember there's no purgatory. There's no praying for the dead. There's no infant baptism. Pray the rosary. I never did. I know it's a Catholic thing. I don't know. I pray to God the Father in Christ's name through the power of the Holy Spirit. You don't need a mediator as a priest, a pastor. Scientology, that's what all the celebs, it's a cult. John Travolta, Tom Cruise, Leah Remini from King of Queens was in it. Very strange. I heard Dr. Eric Berg, who's very popular on YouTube, he's a Scientologist. Exactly. John 3 states it very clearly. You must be born again. Overhand versus underhand barbell rows. I liked underhand for a long time, but Lenny tore his biceps, so he swore that off. And they say it puts a tendon in a much more precarious position. Although I think you could tear it just as easy going heavy overhand. But I do like the underhand hammer strength plate-loaded machine if I'm going to do underhand. But if I do barbell rows, I do overhand. But lately, I've been doing chest-supported T-bar row. Faith without works is dead. Yeah, after you're saved, you should, be a servant, witness, grieve with those who grieve, rejoice with those who rejoice. Brad said he believes in God. No, I don't know. He didn't. Does he believe in Jesus Christ as a savior? on a text conversation months ago with Lenny and I. He said he believes in God, and he said his girlfriend was a Sunday school teacher. So it's never too late for anybody. Look at the thief on the cross. If you're on your deathbed, it's not too late. You just lose out on a lot of rewards and blessings you would have had if you would have believed sooner. Maybe you still go to heaven. Lady of Fatima, Mary appeared to 3 little kids and performed a miracle in front of the whole village. Yeah, I've seen, the images of the Virgin Mary or Christ on some glass building. I don't know. Who's to say for sure? I mean, I know I have my beliefs. It's great if it truly is some sort of sign from God. We have the completed canon of Scripture, the Bible. So most signs, if not all, have ceased. At least the very, very obvious ones. You may have subtle, rhemas from God, personal messages, which I get from time to time. Deism. It's the newest religion. I don't know. As far as I know, my heart's still ticking, still beating. I'm no chest pain or anything, shortness of breath. So has that plaque progressed? I don't know. I just got to stay on the meds. And I'm pleased to announce I had my first colonoscopy last month. Not so much as one polyp, so I'm good for another 5 years. I don't think about growing the YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm very inactive on it. Dave Palumbo. I'm too boring for Dave Palumbo. I don't think he'd want me on there. Favorite fast food joint. I like PDQ here. They've got some breaded chicken tenders. They got grilled chicken sandwiches too, but for a while they had a really good breaded turkey breast sandwich. And they had one for Thanksgiving that had cranberry on it, but they stopped offering it on the menu. But their chicken tenders are good. And I like Culver's burgers, actually. They're pretty good. They're butter burgers. It's like a Wisconsin inspired. They're pretty good. I eat that very rarely. Yeah, Palumbo. He's still got the sick vascularity somehow. Not all Protestant services a bunch of singing. Typically, they'll sing for like 15, 20 minutes. They do like announcements, any like financial needs they have. And usually the message is more biblically based. They more references, more doctrine. And it's like 40 minutes. Catholic service, it feels like more ritual. But I haven't been to a Catholic church in a while, so. Butter shakes for Sam Sulek. No, I think he's on the right path. He's looking pretty good. I see he eats like a ham and cheese sandwich, breakfast sandwich in his off season, which was kind of weird, but if it works for him, he's looking lean. He's got a good chest on him. Well, I didn't have a big engine in the little Nissan, my friend. I kind of miss the pickup truck. Now that I have a bike, it's not really biking season, but it was easier to throw it in the back of the truck. I need to get a bike rack for the Rogue, but yeah, I kind of miss a pickup truck for like loading stuff in the back. Bootsy's here. Bootsy, they're asking about you. Thoughts on Trend Twins? Never heard of them. Sam Sulek has almost 2.5 million subs. Wow. Incredible. No gals on the scene. Yeah, I used to eat Detour protein bars back in the day. I don't even know if they're still around. They were decent. They were like 32 grams of protein. I have the Ruger LCS 9mm. It's very difficult to comprehend the Holy Trinity, OG Ghost. The word Trinity isn't in the Bible. But it's almost beyond our comprehension while we're here. How long did it take for Lenny to get ready to go to the gym back in the day? Not long. He was usually ready to go because he knew, he appreciated I was picking him up. He was ready. In our schedules, a lot of times he'd be home and he'd get a nap or something. I'd be getting off my security guard dog job and go pick him up. But he was ready to go. He'd have all the stuff. The butter shakes were ready. He'd have a stack of pornos I'd have to drop off that he watched, and he'd tell me to drop them off before we hit the gym. They must have did those porno tapes red and all these colorful colors on purpose. So when you walk back up to stick them in the slot, everybody knows what you got there. £400 bench at 200 pounds is top tier in my book. If it's not in the Bible, why follow it? Well, spiritual stuff, yeah, you shouldn't. I mean, if it's a Bible commentary or a Christian book, yeah. But in terms of spiritual living, yeah, I mean, it's where you should be getting your information from. Will Brad ever quit boozing and dope smoking? I don't know. He always claims he doesn't do it that often. So I don't know. Jesus was God wrapped in flesh. Emmanuel, there's no such thing as Trinity, but there's multitudes of references to the Holy Spirit and God and Jesus before he was crucified. He prayed to God, let this cup pass from me, unless it was God's will. So there's, plenty of instances. Even in Genesis, I think there's references of the Spirit hovering. Let us make man in our image, us, plural. Sam has horrible burger nips. What's that? Did you guys spill your seed before the gym? No. It was just, he maybe watched it 2 or 3 nights prior to hitting the gym, Lenny. And he wouldn't even do that anyway. He'll tell you that, Genoe Crespa. It probably took a while to tickle Lenny's fancy when it came to the videos with all, what he's into. So customers at work ever talk down to me and disrespect me? Very, very rarely. I'm the last one to lose my cool with customers. So one time, it was the spring of last year, some guy got a little lippy with me because sometimes, the price, something gets scooted in the wrong spot. So you got a $40 item, it's in a $20 item spot, and they think that's the price. So the guy got a little snippy, but I shot him down real quick. Doesn't happen often. You got a lot of old people. It's just, I was telling a coworker, because he's looking to, get out of retail. He's like tired of the boomers is what he says. And I'm like, it's the last thing I'm going to get my feathers ruffled about some customer. I'm way, way more passive. I like it as I get up there in age. It's like pick your battles a lot more wisely than you ever did before. And you realize really what's important to get your blood pressure up. It's really got to come down to like a physical threat. Any advice for elbow pain when doing tricep extensions or tricep exercises? Skull crushers really bother me now. Having a neutral grip, with dumbbells rather than the easy curl bar may help. Use sleeves, some tight sleeves with the compression help. And just if there's something that really bothers it, just don't do it. That's the point I've reached. Is there's no exercise. Oh, I have to deadlift. I have to squat. No, I'm 45 now. I've got size. I could do something else to stimulate the muscle. So, but generally, tricep isolation exercises are going to be rough on your joints, especially if you're doing them on a separate day that you did your press. So just experiment, Thoughts on men being married to porn stars and actually filming their scenes. Isn't that some guy. He's got a popular podcast somehow, and his wife's a porn star, and his name's Adam something. I don't know. I'm just all the like the men's channels I watch, like Better Bachelor, and this other one was talking about the guy. Just makes me sick. Are there benefits to getting sun on testicles, like Lenny said? It might be like a bro science thing. I don't know. Is there any sound research on it? And I heard like red light therapy on them may help. I don't know. I've never tried it. Maybe a little bit, not to the point where you burn. I'm sure probably has some benefit. You get maybe a little vitamin D. Overall thoughts on Sam Sulek? Nothing but good thoughts about him. From what I see of his physique, he looks good. Seems like a down-to-earth kid. He's got a huge following, and he hasn't even competed yet, which is always a plus. So, and he's a fan of the Misfits. What more can I say? If he's ever in the area and he wants to come train at the Secret Lair, he's welcome to train with me and Stefan. Chin-ups, heel, elbow tendonitis. Look it up. Maybe. I know like just dead bar hangs has a lot of benefits. Hanging from the chin-up bar. Burger nipples. What does that mean? Thoughts on Nextzilla? Oh, yeah. I never heard of him until a coworker who's kind of into following the bodybuilding showed me. He's got a kind of a weird physique. He's massive. He's freaky. His legs, his neck. Some video he showed me, my coworker, that he was somebody was critiquing him. He was doing the neck harness hanging off. He was using the belt you use to add weight when you do chins and dips, and he was like doing neck extensions. I don't know why. His neck is massive enough. But yeah, he's freaky looking. But he's just kind of aesthetically, I don't know if he'd ever win. He's just kind of in balance with the upper body. I don't know. I've been off Instagram almost a year and a half, and I don't miss it. Chin-ups. Are chin-ups the best exercise for biceps? They might very well be. I don't know. But I think once you get to the halfway point, it's a lot of lats. So I think spider curls are probably the best. Yeah, the dead hangs helps my lower back. I like to do it in the morning here when I do my cardio. I hang from the pull-up bar. You just feel a good stretch from like your scapula down to your SI joints. Kyriakos Grizzly, I don't know. He does some odd lifts, but I'm sure he's a strong guy. He's eating all that Slovaki and Euro meat. Behind the neck military presses, are they bad? I did them for a number of years without any issues. I don't do them anymore, but just don't go below your earlobes when you lower it. I think you'll be fine. It's going to build your traps a lot too, I think, more than like your front delts. Top 3 tips or cues for proper benching form. Probably things I wasn't even cognizant of when I did the 650, to be honest, like retracting your shoulder blades and pulling the bar apart, tucking the elbows. I never did any of that, but I try to do it now when I do bench. But that feet firmly planted, don't do it on your tippy toes like I did. Try to get as much arch, really drive your feet down onto the floor, retract the shoulder blades, and really gripping the bar tight. Something I saw is when you unrack it, or whether you have somebody helping you, is dragging it off and really tightening your lats. And believe it or not, I didn't do any of that when I did the 650. I only recently saw videos where they talk about the importance of it. I think Elite FTS, somebody on there, but those would be the 3 tips. Reverse hypers are great. I don't have access to it now that I go to a different gym. Why does Dave Palumbo look like Skeletor? I don't know. I don't know. That's what I said earlier. It's like I don't know how he's so lean looking and vascular. Grizzly benches 250 kilos for 5. Is that good for his size? Yeah, it's over 500 pounds for 5. That's good. Nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, I don't even bench that much anymore for that reason. Because of I have a dull aching pain in my rear delt, my rotator. This shoulder pops and makes a lot of noise. So I've been doing more dumbbells or hammer strength. Farmer's carries, rarely. I like to do them more often. But works your grip strength, your obliques, your core stability. So it's, you know, your conditioning, traps, your neck. So if you have a path to do it. I would have done 700 pounds, whether I would have trained with Louis Simmons or any of them or not. If I had kept on that path and not get injured, I would have gotten it easily without any specialization, to be honest. Not to sound arrogant, but it just came so easy to me, which was it's like a double-edged sword. I didn't really have to work too hard for it. Yeah, I should upload more. I told Stefan he wants to start uploading more training videos because he's considering doing a show. But he doesn't want it to be like educational. But I feel like if we do them, we should give like some pointers and to kind of explain what we're doing. He just wants to like train without talking. I don't know. I could do that, I suppose. Yeah, pretend you're bending the bar when you're pressing. It's a good cue. Am I depressed about Joe Burrow? Little. I was bummed out, but honestly, they've still got a shot to make it. Who knows? But their defense has underperformed. But Jake Browning looked good Monday night. I mean, if he could play 75% of that, they got a shot. And if the defense could pick it up, you get in that tournament, TJ, you don't know what can happen. You just got to get your foot in the door. But it's a good problem to have. 2 good QBs. I don't know. If Pomps is in here under an alias, explain to the maniacs why you ran away from the Las Vegas lounge. No new girls for me, Aristophanes. Bootsy's the only female. Good weight for a small woman, Daniel Levy. Hit back and buys. What'd you do? I had a mild tear in my pec after taking Levaquin. It's an antibiotic of the fluoroquinolone drug class. They give it for prostate infection and urinary tract infection. Don't ever take it. See if there's an alternative because I tore my pec on it. Just a minor tear. Every other day injections for stable test levels. Subcutaneously, supposedly, which I never tried. No, Mike, I don't think I could ever get back to 650 without killing myself. Farmers carries, how far should you walk? I'd go as far as you can. Try to go at least, I don't know, how many gyms or anywhere has a stretch where you can go 20, 25 yards. Arm wrestling training. I never did specific arm wrestling training, but if you're going to compete, I would think you have to do certain more than just curls and things like that. It's a different strength in your rotator cuffs. You know, it's dangerous though. Didn't Larry Wheels like rip some guy's arm, break his arm or something? Sure, Daniel. You got the email. You know where to find me. No, I never done an ice bath. I prefer the heat, the sauna. Yeah, I think I'll get on TRT one day. That's right. Christ is King, Daniel Levy. Boxing is excellent for overall fitness. I highly recommend boxing. Could Jason have been the next Tom Platz if he was fully dedicated to bodybuilding? No, he could have had some good body parts, though. I will say that. How big was I compared to Tom Prince in his heyday? He was a lot bigger than me. His legs were much bigger. His hams and his quads, his calves are massive. Upper body had me there too, but I mean, I kind of at least maybe held my own upper body, but his legs were top notch. I don't like the carnivore diet for weight loss, but I think it would work for a lot of people. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I would vote for RFK Jr. Thoughts on Big Lenny's last trip to the hospital where what was it he doing? Leg raises in the chair, throwing punches once they got all the water retention off his gut. Yeah, raisin Ezekiel bread. Good stuff. Expensive. What is it, $7 a loaf? Jay Cutler's a big proponent of Ezekiel bread. Thoughts on the reason why there will never be a Misfit podcast again? I don't know. You think there should be, because Prince Andrew seemed like he was on good terms with Lenny, offering to film him at the Powerhouse before it closed. So I don't know. It's unacceptable. They're all down there. In my opinion, they're well past due. No, I haven't talked to Prince Andrew in a while. Why do bodybuilders use Molly on stage? Does it help as a diuretic? I never thought to use it. I didn't know it was a thing back when I competed. I wouldn't do it. It probably does act as a diuretic, but it also has a constricting effect, which you don't want. You want your veins out, not in. And, can interact with, if you're doing a diuretic and you're already on a ton of gear, which compromises your heart. So I wouldn't do it. Maybe just for the euphoric effect, if they're, looking to just let loose when they're posing. I don't know. I didn't know it was a thing, and I wouldn't do it. Are Brad and Lenny on speaking terms? They might have private conversations, but I'll say this. When Lenny sends a group text to me and Brad, 99.9% of the time, Brad doesn't respond. So if that tells you anything. And I don't speak to Brad directly. So maybe Lenny and Brad speak directly. But when Lenny sends stuff, he doesn't even respond, Brad. So AR says Lenny is toxic, unfortunately. No one can stand him. He's mentally and physically gone. I don't think so. I spoke to him a few months ago. He seemed coherent with me. 120 mgs of tests, every other day injections, and 5 milligrams of Cialis daily. Wow. Sounds like a decent little stack there. Why did Powerhouse Gym fail? I don't know. I honestly, it seemed like it was destined to fail with everything I heard from it. Just no bathrooms, no air conditioning. It's a shame too. I don't know. I haven't asked Lenny how his mom's doing. Did I listen to The Rock on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast? No. I never liked really. I like The Rock as a wrestler, but not many of his films do I care for. But when he called out Trump during the COVID year in 2020, something to do with the rioting, but as far as I know, he hasn't called out Biden on his lack of leadership or Obama or anybody else. I lost a lot of respect for The Rock. Can you substitute oatmeal for whole wheat sourdough bread? Yeah, there's probably a little more sugar in that bread, but you could if it's your first meal of the day. But I like oat. I mean, there's so many different varieties. I like oat bran. I like steel cut oats. There's Irish oats. So, but the bread's probably gonna have a little more sugar. But I guess if the macros line up, what difference does it make? Lenny did Molly on stage once. He might have down there. Not when I was when we competed. We hadn't, or he hadn't taken it up to that point. So. A MGTOW until the next one falls in my lap like last time, Dorian. I don't go out looking for anything. I'll bet, PJ. 3 more law school finals. Halfway done with law school. Hats off to you. That's a hell of a lot harder than prep I ever did, like prep for bodybuilding. That's a piece of cake compared to the amount of studying you got to do for something like that. What do you guys think? Vince collab with Vince Goodroom and the Meow Man? Yay or nay? Likewise, Cletus. I hope all is well with you. What do I eat when I'm cutting for a show? First meal's like carton of egg whites, 1 whole egg, some oatmeal, fruit. Early on, you could have that. Chicken and rice, some veggies, lean red meat, fish. But the last show I did, the guy had me eating, he allowed me to have chicken thighs or chicken breast, egg whites. The post-workout was like two scoops of whey isolate, cream of rice with a scoop of almond butter. He gave me a cheat day up until halfway through, and then towards the latter half, it was just a refeed day. So pretty low carbs, and then a higher carb day once a week. But it was like oats, rice, sweet potatoes for the carbs, cream of rice, 1 whey isolate shake, 1 egg white meal in the morning, and then like chicken thighs or chicken breast. Pretty simple. A lot of cardio I did the last time around. Would I recommend straps or over under for a top set when overhand slips? If you're planning on competing, you got to do the over under. If not, use the Versa grips. The grape one. A lot of people don't like oatmeal. I like it. I don't know. I put cinnamon. I'll either do like Manuka honey in it now, some fruit. I'll make a whole concoction out of it, Daniel. Blueberries, chia seeds, a lot of fiber. I like it. Drop a nice deuce later on. Last show I did, Dorian, he had me doing up to an hour in the morning fasted. He wanted me to do a treadmill, but at the apartment I only had elliptical, so I did the elliptical, low pace, steady state, and then he had me doing high intensity interval training after lifting up to like 20 minutes. So at tops, I was doing an hour and 20 minutes. Then I got shredded, and he cut back on everything because I was too lean. So he just had to cut back on a lot of that. Thoughts on suicides? Don't do it. God has a plan for your life. You won't fulfill it if you do that. Cut it short. And there's somebody, a family member, a friend, a coworker, somebody, you touch their lives. Could be an animal, a pet that relies on you, depends on you. And if you think you don't have one, you most likely do. But get a pet ASAP. Taking care of a cat or a dog, something that relies on you to bring purpose and meaning to your life, in addition to God's plan for you. So that's what I say about it. Fed a butt no more than twice a week with 3 days in between. What's the best cardio just to burn fat and get ripped, not for conditioning? I always thought it was like low intensity, steady state stuff, but recently they're saying high intensity cardio intervals is the best, but that's also going to help your conditioning though. So, yeah, I try to do like some mobility work for shoulders, band pull aparts, um, some of the Donnie Thompson stuff with the thick band where you put it on like the power rack bars and you rotate your arm and do a lot of stuff like that. I'll do like LYTPs with light dumbbells for like scapular retraction, lower trap health. I did not know there was an Adam McLeod Vince Goodrum beef. Brad thinks he's too good to do a live every once in a while. I don't know, maybe he's too busy. He's got the postal delivery. He's got the girlfriend, kids. They should throw you guys a bone every once in a while is what I think. Well, his last one was 4th of July, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. No, I didn't watch the interview with Tucker and Alex Jones a few days ago. You recommend it? Give me the cliff notes, as Pomps would say. Has a girl ever called me out for staring at her? Yeah, some dyke at the gas station back in me and Lenny when we go eat Haagen-Dazs after our meals when we were 300 plus pound. Some dyke goes, "What are you looking at, you big gorilla?" I was staring at her. Then me and Lenny just looked at each other and started laughing and continued eating our ice cream. Thoughts on WW3? Could be closer than we think. Who knows? With the turmoil in the Middle East and the Ukraine-Russia conflict still going on, it's going to happen. It's not an if, it's when. It's biblical prophecy. Tell the gas station story with me and Lenny. That was it. How do I avoid concerning myself with these awful racial issues? Things are looking bad for whites. As the Bible says, I try to be at peace with all people. I'm God's anointed. I'm a believer. If you're a believer in Christ, you're the anointed. Bad things happen to people if they touch God's anointed. So try to be at peace with everybody, regardless of who they are or what they are. But like I said, if it's an imminent physical threat, it's when you take action. That guy 6. Oh, the Haitian guy. I don't know what. We were all G'd up one night. So I stopped to get gas at the Murphy USA by the Walmart. I think it's in Delray. And we just got back from doing collections for the evening, showing up at people's doors with gambling debts. We were all G'd up. And I'm sitting in the old pickup truck. And all of a sudden I hear a commotion. Lenny's screaming at some Haitian. I don't know if he worked there, if he was just getting gas or what. And I don't know what he said about our country. But Lenny just starts screaming, "What'd you say about this country, boy?" Dorian needs advice. He catches girls staring at him in the gym. Should he talk to them or just ignore? I'm kind of swole, so I know they like the gains. Lenny says ignore them. It drives them nuts. And eventually, if they're very forward, like a lot of chicks I met in Florida in the gyms, they tend to have the higher sex drive. They'll approach you. So No, it just depends. I don't know. Maybe you want to shake it up and approach them. But Lenny's advice would be to ignore them, and it drives them nuts, makes them more curious. The physique check's coming soon. I'm coming up on an hour. Nate got hair implants. How do they look? I don't know. Why the hate on Big Lenny tonight, AR? This was a small Haitian guy. Lenny, when Lenny was on G'd up, trust me, he was screaming at this guy. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I was watching a video. Apparently, it's a thing with these chicks with their tripods. Any guy that even glances at them, they'll film them and put them all over social media and paint them as a pervert or creepy, rapey eyes. So you got to be careful. Maybe it's as I said, that guy six. We get more passive as we hit older age. We just pick our battles more wisely. How do you feel confident when the guy next to you in the gym is more jacked? Use them as motivation, Almeida. That's what I did. That's where the cookie cutter term came in, because the guys with the fanny packs and the Zubaz pants, the girls were talking to them back in my heyday when Lenny and I trained. So it pissed me off and made me move a ton of weight. And that's how I built the muscle. And then when I got cut up, I had more confidence. You should be confident regardless. You might be able to beat that guy's ass. He probably couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. So push yourself harder. If he's getting attention from females, hey, use it as motivation. The Mind Master 101 asks, do you think it's the end for the USA, UK, Great Britain? I do, unfortunately. I don't think I think we passed the point of no return. Now, the crap hasn't completely hit the fan yet, but I think it's just, too much to get into here now, but you know the reasons. And yeah, I do think it's the end. Yeah, Joey Swole. At least he calls them out, the crazy broads, the thirsty broads looking for attention. Yeah, they're always glued to their phones, Mike. You're like Lenny, Bean Smasher. He looks at ass in the gym, even with couples. It reminds me of the story when Lenny and I were at Borders bookstore, and we're sitting on a bench thumbing through Tom of Finland, and there was a kid sitting down next to Lenny, and Lenny goes, "Hey, is that your girl over there?" He's like, "Yeah, isn't it great? We're a great couple." And Lenny's like, "She's got a big fat ass. I like that." He goes, "Excuse me?" Lenny goes, "She's got a big fat ass. I like it." He goes, "That's rude." Lenny goes, "That's perceptive." And I was right there for it, AR. Absolutely, that guy. Once I got shredded, I got more attention. Now, granted, it was still too much muscle for most of the gals, but I was always able to get some without even putting any effort in once I was that ripped. Yeah, the phones, it does get annoying, Rick, at the gym. The broccoli heads always seem to be glued to them, too. Yeah, Lenny was bigger than the guy. He was very Eric Wassert-esque. Why do they like your smelly socks, Poker Days? What do you think of this, Lenny? How do you like the mustache and the dope lid? The listen to Big Lenny lid. Big Lenny, you got any advice for the kid, Dorian? Said chicks are checking him out at the gym. I said to ignore him. That's what Big Lenny would do. Lenny doesn't block anybody, Michael. I don't believe it. It's my what was his name? The manager, Paul Ellering mustache. Oh, well, I got you guys. Anybody excited about the Iron Claw film about Kerry Von Erich? All the white gals distracting the guys in the gyms. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I haven't seen a good movie in a while. I heard Oppenheimer's pretty good, 3 hours, but the Iron Claw movie looks good. Big Lou copied my look. We think alike. Lenny, they want you to go to Thailand. I heard you could live off of $400 a month. You could get your rent paid, get all your meals, water, go out on the town. John Doe, I just watched the video before I hopped on here. Legion of Men. He was saying how inexpensive it is in Thailand, how good quality food they have, dirt cheap. But the caveat is if you're working remotely, so you have a remote job where you can work there, you can live like a king. Seven Samurai. Never heard of it. It's a movie from 1960s Japan. Does it have subtitles? Ignore and treat women with obliviousness, Dorian. You heard it here first. Free advice. Lenny, when's the next podcast? Get it together before the end of the year. Let us know on your progress with the gals, Dorian. Yeah, plus you got a contact over there. You got Tony Huge, also Vigorous Steve. I think he lives in Thailand. He speaks good English. Soon, Mr. Almeida, very soon we're going to get that going. The Broncos Brothers podcast, where we critique the white gals on their phones on the tripods. Why does it sound sketchy to you, Poker Days? What about living in Thailand sounds sketchy? No, fat people don't irk me, quick pump. I like to help them. I pray for them. They only irk me if I give them guidance and they don't accept it and they go do the opposite of what I tell them. Yeah, it's a third world country. Have I seen the 13th Warrior? Is that the one with Antonio Banderas? I think I've seen it a while back. It was life-changing, Mr. Aristophanes of Athens. Lenny and I saw it when it came out in the theater. Passion of the Christ. I own it on DVD. Yes, I'm going to do that for you, Andy. I'm going to read a passage from Psalm 137. the first ever Meow Man Bible reading on air at the request of Andy. Psalm 137, an experience of the captivity by the rivers of Babylon. There we sat down and wept when we remembered Zion. Upon the willows in the midst of it, we hung our harps. For there our captors demanded of us songs, and our tormentors mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How can we sing the Lord's song in a foreign land? If I forget you, O Jerusalem, may my right hand forget her skill. May my tongue cling to the roof of my mouth. If I do not remember you, if I do not exalt Jerusalem above my chief joy, remember, O Lord, against the sons of Edom, the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it to its very foundation. O daughter of Babylon, you devastated one, how blessed will be the one who repays you with the recompense with which you have repaid us. How blessed will be the one who seizes and dashes your little ones against the rock. What do you think of that, maniacs? Better narration than Charlton Heston ever did. No, I heard it's a good movie, The Sound of Freedom. I need to check it out, about the child trafficking. Ask Chat GBT to go through the inconsistencies with the Bible. That's Satan speaking to you through that, saying there's inconsistencies. So the mark of the beast there, my friend. They're going to manipulate the Bible with Chat GPT and make it say something completely different. They've already done it. Hopefully somebody will get a clip of that and it'll surface on Instagram, even though Meow Man's not on there. He's reading from the Bible with a handlebar mustache. Yeah, I'd love a Catholic Hispanic gal. What's Project Bluebeam? That's what Lenny, they asked who would play me in a movie about you and I. I said somebody recommended Nicolas Cage play the big Lenny, but I said Vin Diesel could play me because people said I looked like him that day on the beach. Lenny, check this out. What do you think of this, Lenny? Where's Onyx? Where's your little cousin Onyx running around Florida? The Rock. Yeah, The Rock could play Big Lenny. Phil Heath. Lenny's a spitting image when he gets on Melanotan. Bootsy's bigger and harder than Dale Chance ever was in one of them shows. Yeah, Bob Sapp. That's a good recommendation. He could play Big Lenny. Lenny, you need to tell the story of the time you were in the McDonald's down in Miami in the inner city, and Lenny was pitch black with melanotan, and they're like, "Boy, where you from? You look different. You be talking different, boy." Bootsy's back responded to the diet better than Dale Chance's did. Where can I find the pictures of Dale's recent show? I couldn't find his name in the results when I looked. Tom Cruise is Brad. No, what's his name? Craig Sheffer. He looks like Brad. He could do his hair brown, grow the beard. He's got the same puss on his face as Brad. Craig Sheffer, the guy from The Program, the football movie. Yeah, Jason Momoa. Where's the royalties for Big Lenny? He copied the look with the wig. The beginning of the movie, they could play Brad to the Bone with Lenny singing it. No, I think Dale's like 5'6". Robzilla's last ooey and gooey posts all the Dale contest pics on Instagram. Would I say Marcus Rule is the greatest bodybuilder to never win an Olympia? Him or maybe Nasser, I don't think won it. I don't think Kevin Levrone won it. I think he's well deserving. Nasser, Marcus Rule, Kevin Levrone, Mike Francois, Paul DeMeo. Those are some that I think are worthy of it. Even Kai Green, he's a freak. He should have won one or two. Sean Astin is Dale. Yeah, Callie Muscle could make a cameo in the Big Lenny film. No, never touched crack. Secret sauce. Larry the Cable Guy. He does look like him. Remember I put the picture on Instagram with the cut off flannel like John Lizzo used to wear? What diet does the Bible recommend? Probably staying away from shellfish and what's the other one? Certain hoofed animals. But then in the New Testament, Paul says everything's clean. You know, if you just pray and bless it before, you could eat whatever. So the dietary restrictions kind of change. So King Baldwin the leper, who and what is that? William Defoe is Jane Genova. I don't know. You get tightness in your neck after eating a fatty steak. Eat a leaner cut and see what happens. Joe Pesci would play the crazy crackhead uncle. Bald John Travolta is Jason. Yeah, I believe in the benefit of raw milk. I got it like 5-6 years ago. There's a truck that comes around and they deliver to a church right by my apartment, actually. I bought a couple gallons. I really like the taste. I don't know. I'd recommend it. It didn't bother my stomach or anything. They had raw butter too. I know it's, I agree, Secret Sauce. The Misfits was the most entertaining thing going online in the fitness YouTube community. They probably could have collabed with Sam Sulek by now. He's a big fan. Andy Dick as Koth, Debbie Deandra. Who would play Adam Harper? Who would play Adam Harper and Bree Harper in the Genova documentary? Who would you guys play Jay Masters? The first one that comes to mind, rest his soul, is Chris Farley. Jason Statham as Adam Harper. There you go. Who would play the Prince Andrew? John Cena as Bree Harper. Is Jay still alive? I don't know. Hopefully, he's got to live it out to see what's going to happen with Michigan this year. Yeah, there you go. Who'd play Adam McLeod in the Genovaverse documentary? Onyx is patrolling the neighborhood in Lake Worth. Liam Neeson for Prince Andrew? I don't know. Somebody else. Wilford Brimley as Father Jay Masters. Star Wars Ewok as McCuck. Yeah, Misfits would have gotten huge if they would have collabed with Sulek. It's not too late, Lenny. Slide into his DMs on Instagram and collab with him. Prince Andrew, played by Ted Bundy. Jay's Uncle Buck. Yeah, John Candy from Uncle Buck. See, I don't even need to create stuff. You guys give me the content with our the hypotheticals of who would play who in the Genova verse. Steve Buscemi is Prince. Who would play Big Lou D'Onofrio in the Prince in the Genovaverse documentary? The guy that played, I know who played Palumbo is that creep from Cobra with Stallone, the killer. He could play Dave Palumbo. Joey Diaz is Big Lou. Who else? Who else am I missing? The guy from Scarface, the one that Pacino takes his girl. He's an Italian guy, but he could play Saul because he has the bald with the hair. Who else? Who'd play Big Richard? Which actor would we want to play Big Richard? Soy Jack. Who's that? Jason Blaha could be played by Soy Jack. What about Jennifer from The Desk? Which porn star do you porn addicts want to play her? Clint Eastwood. Yeah, Clint Eastwood probably do a good Richard. Joe Pesci is Genova. Who would play Tamika Smelly, the trainer, the Haitian girl? Jenna Jameson as Jennifer from The Desk. Saul will be played by, what's his name? I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. He played Michael Carlino in Armed and Dangerous. He was in Scarface. Fred Gwynn is Big Richard. Koth Debbie. Yeah, I don't know who'd play her. Dave Thomas is Saul. Geez, who else? Who am I leaving out? Chuck the Cat Abandoner. Who'd play him? Janot will be played by Beetlejuice from Howard Stern. Robert Loggia, that's him. Good. John Doe's on it. Yeah, Robert Loggia would play Saul. China is Debbie. Yeah, she could have done that. Colin Farrell is Cornelius. No, Michael Berryman is Cornelius from The Hills Have Eyes. Sarah Jessica Parker is Jane. Yeah, who'd play Nate? Hair plug Nate. Who's going to play him? John Leguizamo could play Nate. What's his name? John Leguizamo. Dale's going to be played by either Larry the Cable Guy or who else? I vote for Larry the Cable Guy to play Dale in the documentary. Obese Buffalo Bill is Jay Master, sticking his schwanz between his legs. Who's going to... The goddess Christina Broccolini could play herself because she's already an actress. John Berthal as JT. Yeah, that's a good one. You want to go? You want to go right now? Yeah, where is Nate? Does he still do his eating videos on YouTube? Ricky Martin as Brad and Salma Hayek as Taco. Want to go, bro? Want to go right now? You talking crap about me on the internet? Who would play Pomps? How about an old strung out Nick Nolte as Pomps, running from the Las Vegas lounge, bolting from the Las Vegas lounge. Jay Leno in a wig. Brad said JT is an alpha male. I'll bet. Geez, why can't I think of anybody else? Who else? How about Ian McCarthy? Who's going to play him? Gary Busey. Ellen Page is Ian. Jesse Eisenberg. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Victor, played by Dolph Lundgren. Vern Trower is Ellen DeGeneres as Ian. What about an old man Chuck that said he could squat 600 pounds, rest his soul? Got old man Chuck. We need somebody to play him. Chuck the Cat Abandoner. God, who else? The Haitian with the dreadlocks with the six-pack abs. We could get the Fuji singer to play him. Macaulay Culkin as Ian McCarthy. Yeah, Synthol Mark. Got to get somebody to play him. Will, yeah. Who's going to play Will? Will could be played by the guy from South Central, the black guy that went to prison. Sean Connery could play Old Man Chuck. Lil Wayne as Will. Keisha can play. How about I think he passed away too, Damien. Was that his name? Damien? He worked he was the manager. Glenn Danzig as Old Man Chuck. Linda. Yeah, who's going to play Linda, Jay's girlfriend? Anybody know what she looks like? Bruce Jenner as Koth Debbie. Michael Clark Duncan as Black Lenny. Jason Bateman as Synthol Mark. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Midnight service on Christmas. No, typically Catholic churches do that. Probably be a Christmas Eve service I'll go to on Sunday. Honey Boo Boo's mom as Linda. Sketty. Eat your sketty, your spaghetti, ketchup, and butter. Yeah, Henry Rollins would be a good Synthol Mark. All right, maniacs. I had a good time here. I'm gonna call it a night in a few minutes. It's almost 9 o'clock on the East Coast. Got to get my shut eye. Big back day tomorrow. Rack deads, heavy rows, neck traps. Yeah, we got the whole Misfit movie cast down pat. Joan Collins is Jason's grandma. Yeah. Joan Rivers, better yet, but she's passed away, unfortunately. No, you're going to get the physique shot now, as promised. Ugh. Look at that. Not bad. 1,500 calories today, maniacs. Look at it. I'm coming for you, pinworm Nate. I'm going to rip them hair plugs right out, buddy. Look at the pecs. I still got them. 45 years young. Not a drug in this man's body, just a little bit of whiskey. My buddy offered to pay for me to do a comeback next year. He thinks I can go pro, even natty. I don't know. I'll think on it. Not bad for a former porno addict. All right, maniacs. That's it. If I don't speak to you, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I should do a comeback for the Misfit Maniacs to revive them. But yeah. Appreciate it, maniacs. Have a good night, everybody. God bless. Always keep God first. That's right, Carl.